Excellent. So let's move on to the backward rolls now. Okay. And let's go over here. Now remember, we've already taught them how to do the lead-ups, which is the rock and roll. Okay, the rock where they go down, they put their hands in pizza, and they roll up. Did we do it from standing, or did we just do it from rolling? So at first you're going to just do it from rolling and getting their hands right. Okay, and then you're going to ask them to stand up, and this is quite difficult, and go down without hands. Sit, roll, and stand up. Okay, so once they can do that, or even if they can't do that, doesn't matter, you're working with that while you're also teaching them the skill of the backward roll. And I just take them through it physically the first time, because they often say to me, but I've never done a backward roll. And I say, it's no problem, this is awesome fun. Okay, we pretend you haven't done it. What I want you to do is turn around, and you're going to sit down on my magic chair. You're going to have pizza hands. You remember pizza hands because we've done pizza hands already. You're going to make your back nice and round like an angry cat back. You're going to roll backwards. You're going to put your hands down on the floor. You remember that? Lift your bottom up. Okay? And you're going to go over. Ooh! And the little face that lights up when they land. That was so awesome. They won't land on their feet the first time. They'll land on their knees. Will you do one where you land on your knees for me, like a wrong one, okay, to show the teachers. Thanks, my love. So they'll go over and land like that. That is a classic mistake, okay. Thank you, Michelle. So what we want to try and do in that case is just turn around, lie down on your back, put your hands on the mat, lift up. I actually give them a little, gonna land on these things now, okay. On your feet. In gymnastics, we land on our feet. And feet. And stand up. Awesome. Okay? Sit. Round back. Pizza hands. Roll over. Land on your feet. Awesome, Michelle. Well done. Again, arms up. Sit. Round back. Pizza hands. Hands. And on your feet. And up. Awesome. And I've got him right at the end. He can't fall. I've got him right to the end. Okay, that's the trick with the spotting. We'll practice the spotting later today. Okay, we're going to be doing all of this. But watch where my hands go now. Okay, I'll do it slowly for you. Sit. We do it slowly. Okay, hands. Hands. Always checking both of them. Okay, hands on the hips. Can you see? And lift over and up. Okay, and that's the backward roll is actually the most difficult movement of probably of all the movements we're going to do today in terms of strength, and especially when we've got the little ones where their little heads are still big in proportion to their bodies. Okay, you've got to be careful that they don't hurt their neck. If you see a child ever going like this, you know, they'll do this thing. Neck sore. They won't say it. You know they've hurt their neck in the backward roll, and you go in there and you spot them. In fact, spot them a lot. Over spot rather than under spot. Okay. Okay, so let's see the spot again in fast motion. So once they can do it from sitting, you can ask them to do it from standing. Arms up. Sit. Pizza hands round. Up. Oh, awesome. And again. And now you're giving them momentum. So now you've done it slowly with them. And now you're giving them momentum to get the feeling of it. And they love it. It gives them a thrill. Okay. Arms up. Sit. Pizza hands. Round back. Up. And up. Awesome. Feet together. Try and land dead still without moving at the end. Hey? Gymnasts always stick. Awesome. Feet together when you land. Beautiful. And arms up. And down. Round back. Pizza hands. Up. And stick. Oh, nearly. Just a little movement. Okay. One more. And arms up. Down, round, up, and oh, that was a good stick. Well done. Did you also notice that you repeat the verbal cues over and over and over and over again so that they internalize them and they start saying it for themselves? Common mistakes. You're going to see them going skew over one shoulder because the hand lifts up and the elbow touches the floor. Can you do that? Or not really? Can you do a wrong one? Can you? You're quite good at, understanding what I want. Okay, let's try and do it slowly. Turn around. So sit down, roll, okay, stop here. Okay, now when you go over, I want you to put that hand like that, okay? Like that. Did you see that? Okay, that's what they do. So they lift that hand up and the elbow flops to the side, okay? So all we need to do to correct that is lie down, put your hands, okay. So remember what happened was this arm flopped sideways, or it could be this one, whatever. But we'll do this one so that you guys can see, okay? As you say to him, keep your hand on the floor and squeeze your elbow in towards your head. In? Yes. And keep your hand on the floor as you go over, and then they understand. So it's just emphasizing the different verbal cue. Okay, Michelle, let's do that. And hands on the floor, push. That's it. And push is the other verbal cue that you will use, because as they come over, that protects the neck. The fact that the arms can push. Okay. Some children get confused between the backward roll and the bridge because it's both pizza hands. Don't know if any of you have seen this before. Have you seen that, Marty? Lie down. Put your hands on the mat. So they start going here, and it's not a nice thing to see. And then they start going like this and trying to roll over like that. And that is very, very dangerous. Can you see the neck position that the child is in? Okay, it's the neck going the wrong way. Okay, so be careful and make sure you've done your drills and your lead-ups properly. And if the child still can't understand it, I always make a little joke and I say, lie down, put your hands, now lift your legs up, pretend you're a baby and I'm changing your nappy. Lift. Lift, and then they get it. It's like, wow, and they lift up and they don't want me to say that again in the gym. Okay, so you can find little ways just to help them understand to roll and lift up. But you don't want those feet going down, and they think they're rolling by doing that with their back. Okay. Yes?
Just like to add to that, this is quite natural reaction of a child to actually keep their head up. But because we also teach safety for children, and that's why it's nice to do gymnastics. Even if I have a swimming coach, it's really difficult to achieve in backstroke to keep their chin down. So again, there's something like rollover socks, when you put it there, that can help to remind them about that. So eventually, because always the spine is always following the curve of the head and the neck. So imagine if you want to start like that, and that was a common mistake that Tanya called it into your attention. Come, Michelle. Also, children start often, before they sit down, they already arch like that. So if there is that little roll-up socks, it reminds them. The other way of doing that, you do not let my hand go before you feel the magic chair under your buttock. Okay, so what I can do is to start them off from here, or like a little friend. So Tanya, will you please be the coach to spot on the side?
Sure.
And I will be a friend or another coach to start off with. So when you feel the magic chair under your buttock, that's when you can put the pizza hand behind your shoulder. Let's go. So they're not going to have the possibility of arching back. What Tanya is doing often, and you saw that on the video, it's very interesting, the tactile. When Tanya was referring to feel, it's not being punished by not to do that, but it's a tactile information, because we often have visual and obviously the auditory information, but the tactile information actually is the most efficient often. That's why you could see on the video Tanya was doing a little tap here and there, because it is giving them much, much more information, and three together, coming with the keywords all the time and touching the parts what you want to do. This one, it's the most common mistake we see, and I normally tell the kids, like, put on blinkers on, like the horses have got blinkers on, so they can have an imagination of what to do. And then maybe try that, Michelle and Owen, try the one on the flat mat, when they will put their feet off at the end of the forward roll, then they won't be able to go, backward roll, so they won't be able to get onto their knees. All right, so maybe start halfway through.
So you're going to roll and then you're going to go off the mat, but you're going to start a little bit there. Okay, all right, ready, steady, go. Sit, roll, feet off. There we go, awesome. Come, sit, roll, feet off. Awesome. Okay. I've seen coaches, even after they've been taught, doing this. I like to think it's because they're just busy with lots of children and they come there and then they just push a child over in their backward roll. You never do that. Never, 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 never. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate the wrong thing now so that you know not to do it. But I'm demonstrating it because he can actually do the backward roll. Does that make sense? Okay, do your backward roll. Start here and go. Look what happens. There's no support on the neck. Okay? There's no technique. There's no control. And we don't do that. And don't let the children do it because they think it's fun to help their friends to just push them over. All right. So let's go, Michelle, and then you can do yours, Owen. Okay? So you always, go on, get the hips. Okay. One more, my sweetheart. Arms up, feet together. Start nicely. That's it. And roll. And up. Beautiful. You can go a bit faster. Okay. Very good.